like a hop. Thank you, everybody who's taking the chance to tune in. Appreciate you guys taking the chance just to look at everything that we've got with the Tacoma reveal we're doing tonight. We're going to go in real quick and watch Chance do a live demo of our newest model, the Toyota Tacomas.
I'm still messed up.
Say hello, everybody. Hello.
All right, guys. I've been waiting to do this for a while. We've been how long ago was the Tacoma announced?
Going on a year now that we've been waiting on this.
We've been waiting forever to finally get this opportunity, but now we get to finally show you the new Tacoma. So it's got a full redesign, nothing carried over from the old Tacoma. Not a single thing, not the engine, no body panels, the technology in the side, even the seats and all that kind of stuff are completely different right now. Let's take a look real quick. I'm going to start on the inside. Once it's unlocked, do we know where the key is? Dale has it. All right, 1 second. Let's go over to the white one then.
Or we go around the outside. Everybody can come in right now and register to win this free yet.
That's right.
Hey, it's unlocked.
We're already over here.
Okay.
All right. So we've got a complete redesign on the interior. You're going to notice a lot of fun little Easter eggs and that kind of stuff in here. Now, first person who finds what that Morse code means and tells me about it, I'll give them $500 off the Tacoma. You just have to be able to tell me what this Morse code right here actually says. You got it? All right. $500 to the first person, or $500 off a vehicle. I'm not taking it out of my pockets, but $500 off a new Tacoma if you can tell me what that is right there. Now, coming into the interior, you can see, starting over here at the door, we've got 2 separate spaces for storage with multiple cup holders right here. It's got a very sturdy feel right here. Like this, I feel I can just sit here and do this. Not going to break. It doesn't feel like it's going to, snap off or anything in my hand. It's just super solid right here. Now, you've got some extra little things right here if you're wanting to mount like a flashlight, or some people will use their paperweights. Is probably the Facebook safe way to saying it, but you can have them mounted right here. And then coming over onto the inside, you can see we've got a manual seat, but even then it still has electronic lumbar
the sales guys follow around the
adjustment right here.
Everything.
So right here,
Follow around with
you can adjust your lumbar and all that kind of stuff without having to sit there and mess with it and crank it and all that kind of stuff. Now coming over the steering wheel, it's going to have a very similar feel to, like, let's say a new Tundra or something like that. So it's going to have all your controls and everything are going to be in one simple spot. And then all your cruise control and everything is going to be on the right side. Let's take a look at that real quick. Honestly, just the whole interior just feels like a huge step up from the old Tacoma. People were calling the old Tacoma a grandpa and that kind of stuff. Granted, they were still selling really well, but, it was time for a change, and Toyota finally listened to everybody's concerns. You see that little diagonal bar right there? So what that's for is for when you're off-roading that kind of stuff. If you were to roll over something like that, a handle up on the A-pillar isn't going to be useful if you're sitting on top, right? If the car rolls over and you're sitting on the roof, something that's on the ground isn't going to be helpful. So this right here is to be able to keep you nice and stable for in case something like that was to be able to happen. Now, you're going to have a lot more controls and that kind of stuff with an updated infotainment system with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which all comes standard on the new Tacoma. So that wasn't the same on the old Tacoma. In fact, I don't think there even was a wireless option, right? No. Yeah, no. But you're going to have that just completely standard on the new Tacoma. Now, this one doesn't have it, but there's an optional 14-inch display, which is going to be one of the biggest displays you can find on the market today, which I wish I had an example to show you, but it looks phenomenal. The resolution is great. It's really nice and snappy. The whole thing looks amazing. Now, if you come over here, I think it's actually probably going to be best if you look through the windshield. But you see that little gap right there in the dash? So you're able to actually put a JBL speaker in there, which, let's say if you're out camping or something like that, you're able to use that to be able to, just pop it out, play some music if you're at a tailgate or something like that. Makes it a lot more fun at tailgates instead of just having to crank up your car's speakers. You just throw that in the tailgate, have a good time. Now, speaking of the tailgate, let's come over to the back real quick. So we've got a slow drop tailgate back here, which is really nice and slow. It's just perfect. Now, Tacomas are known for having these little rail systems on them. So what this does, if you want to throw a camper shell or if you want to throw a tonneau cover or anything like that on it, You just slide it onto here. There's no more having to get a C-clamp or anything like that just to, hope it doesn't fall off. These rails are super solid and it just slides in. Makes installation for most of those kind of accessories super simple and you can do them at home. Now, one of my favorite things about Tacomas, and it's something I learned when I started, I had no idea this was a thing. You see these little flat spots right here? These have been here since the first generation of Tacoma. What you can do is you can take like a 2x4 or something like that, and you can put them on here, and then throw like a piece of plywood or something like that on top. Suddenly you have a shelving bed system. So you can have, let's say you want to put a bunch of bricks underneath and then all your wood on top. You can do that and not have to worry about stuff flailing around and all that kind of stuff. Makes it super helpful. Now, lifting this back up, which by the way, these are super light now. I can throw that up and not worry about it at all. The old Tacoma, they were heavy, but it's super easy. Now, coming over to the back seat, you see it's got about the same room as the old Tacoma. It's going to have the same storage set up and all that kind of stuff. It makes it really simple for if you're wanting to carry, any valuable items or something like that. It's places people won't normally look for. You're also going to have extra charging in the back. And then come over to the passenger side. One of my favorite design choices that Toyota made is right here on the dash. Check out how it says Tacoma right there. It just looks amazing. And then you can see it's got a little bit of storage up on top as well as a glove box underneath. But just the whole interior on this truck is completely redesigned and it looks phenomenal. And I'll tell you from personal experience driving these around, I mean, me, Derek, and Dale, we went on a whole test drive and that kind of stuff, and it was a blast. The biggest change on the new Tacoma, in my opinion, as far as like from a daily driving and wanting to actually own one, the third generation, while I love the third generation, the V6 is super reliable, it's a good truck, they shift kind of funky. They always feel like they're going to be kind of searching for gears and that kind of stuff, which that's a very common complaint amongst Toyota owners. That doesn't happen anymore. This has a brand new 8-speed transmission. And Dale, I don't know if you remember, but remember how smooth it drove? It was just amazing. It felt like I was driving a Camry. And then with the seats being raised up a little bit compared to the old Tacoma, I feel like I'm driving a truck and not a Camry. So it's the best of both worlds. Now, Derek already helped me out and popped the hood over here, but we'll take a look at that real quick. Now, Toyota owners are known for wanting to modify their vehicles and just have fun with them, right? So, what I really like in here is how open this engine bay is. Now, you can see if you wanted to throw a supercharger or if you want to throw, it's already got a turbo on there, but if you want to throw anything in here, you've got plenty of room. I can reach all the way down into here and still have a bunch of room for whatever accessories you want to throw in there. If you want to throw an extra alternator for if you're, camping and that kind of stuff, it's going to be really helpful. Now, there's a couple little small things I want to show you real quick. I want to see if I can find them again. Is this one? Right here. All right. So Toyota's known for having a lot of little Easter eggs. So you see right here, there's going to be a little Tacoma logo. There's a tiny little Tacoma. And then over on the other side, I believe, if I remember correctly. All right. So remember the Morse code that we saw over there? These are going to be coordinates. Now, this one, we're not going to do any kind of, incentive or anything. I did the research. This is actually the coordinates for Mount Rainier in Tacoma, Washington. So that's what the correlation is there. It's with Tacoma, Washington. Now, you can also see we've got two different mounts for if you want to have the hood open, which is kind of nice for you taller guys. Like this height's perfect for me. But let's say if someone's a little bit taller, you got a lot more room. It doesn't seem like a lot, but it does make a difference. I'm going to go ahead and close this back up. All right, one last thing. I was getting to it. All right, so what I was getting to next, to finish off, is going to be right here. You have Morse code. It says badass trucks on here. Now, it's a little too, I don't know if you can see it on there, and Toyota probably thought it was a little too vulgar to be able to actually put in, something on the side that says badass trucks. But right here, you can see it's got in Morse code just badass trucks, which I honestly think is one of the coolest things Toyota's done. Now, if you guys are interested in them, we've got this one available, and we have, 8 more on the way?
We had 16 total.
Okay.
So 4 pre-sold, so we have 12 available.
We've got 12 available. Now, what I want to show you before we leave is what you can do. These are the same trim. This is your SR5. That's an SR5. But I want you guys to kind of figure out what the differences are between them. It's not going to be very hard. This one has a lift, wheels, and tires on it. Now, this one's already pre-sold, but this gives you an idea of what this truck looks like when you finally have it in your driveway. So you can see we've got some nice, what are these, Derek? 35s? 33s. So we've got some nice 33s on here. We threw some cool wheels on there and threw a lift on there. And it just, this whole truck just looks insane. Like coming over from the front, you see it's got this really cool poke to it. If you come way back, you can see how the tires just poke out from the side of the truck. And it just has this aggressive stance that no other Tacoma has had before. Tacomas have always been known for kind of being these round little trucks that people just use to, you know, get around on their ranch and that kind of stuff. But the Tacoma and most mid-sized trucks today are what 20 years ago were considered full-size trucks. This Tacoma is about the same size as like a 2000s F-150. And they actually have about the same capacity and specs as well. So like this one, the non-hybrid, is going to have 276 horsepower, and then the hybrid version has 326. Now, a lot of people were worried about going to a 4-cylinder from the old V6. The new 4-cylinder turbo has the same horsepower as the old V6 with a little bit more torque. Now, if we go ahead and come in it real quick. Sorry, it relocked. We had it unlocked, I promise. But this one's going to have a little bit more because this one's going to be, I don't know, what's the difference? Here we go. Sorry, I was going to show you. So we're going to have a couple other things in here that I didn't talk about in the other one. So you can actually manually adjust the headlights right here. So let's say if you throw that lift on like we did, you can just sit here. Cool, your headlights are adjusted. You don't have to sit there with, you know, with the screwdriver and have it up against a wall or anything like that, trying to make sure they're even or anything like that. It'll automatically level your headlights for you, which is really helpful. But that's going to be the new Tacoma. I'm super excited with them. I know a lot of other people are going to be as soon as they start hitting dealerships a bit more, especially ours. But we've got 12 on the way. So just come in and ask for any of us and we'll be able to show them to you. We've got, let's see, we've got limiteds, SR5s. I think we just got allocated our first hybrid one too, which those are going to be really hard to come by because they only just started production on them this month. But if you're interested, we've got plenty of availability and we're all really happy to help you. Derek, did you have anything before we take off?
Yes, if we don't have one that matches the specs you're looking for already, we do take orders on them. I know a lot of dealerships are going away from ordering. Well, we'd love to get one ordered. Feel free to stop by and speak with Chance or any of our other product specialists. We'd love to get a vehicle for you guys. Thank you.
Give us an address.
3333 North White Sands Boulevard here in Alamogordo, New Mexico.
And who are we? Casa. Oh, nice guys! Oh, come on!